Who do y'all think this is? This here. That's the real Jesus. That was a better depiction of what his skin, because we read the depiction of what he looked like, right? They said he had white woolly hair like my brother here. They said he had dark skin, burnt in the furnace like you. Christ was a dark-skinned brother. So before what the rulership of the white man, or what you would call the Renaissance time, this is an ancient depiction where because before they started painting him like this, he was always portrayed as a black man.
And you know that for sure.
How you doing, brother?
You want to know what tribe you from?
All praise, all praise. How you doing? How you doing? Don't take the yelling for nothing. I'm just passionate in what I'm going into, brother. You understand? Right. So let me ask you something. What would you call yourself? Where does your father come from? Are you a so-called Black American, West Indian, Haitian? Where you come from?
Well, I'm mixed with a whole lot. Black, Indian
and then folks still going against their own words.
Say that one more time, I can't hear you.
They confirmed that they're not from these followers are not from here. They haven't been touched by
we all got white people.
They dwelled in other
We all got white people names. Don't worry about that, because it's slave names, right? It's slave names. I understand. So what's your father? Yeah, come on up. Can you come up a little bit? I know you're Can you come up a little bit?
Following that king.
So what's your father's nationality? What's your father?
He mixed with more white than me.
So I want to show you something real quick before we continue, because I want to establish how we identify who we are according to the Bible. The Bible tells us how you identify your nationality or where you come from. And the Bible doesn't agree with what you would call so-called mixed with different people. That's not what it says. You come from the lineage of your father. So whatever your father is, that's what you are, right? Read this.
Numbers chapter 1 and verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month. And they declared their pedigrees.
Their pedigrees is going into their lineage or their bloodline, right?
After their families, by the house of their fathers.
So what, according to the scriptures, you declare your pedigree or your bloodline or your nationality after your father. So you said he was a so-called African American, right?
No, he had, like I say, he had more white and Indian than anything else.
So was he white or was he?
Well, his daddy was. I know that.
His daddy was white?
Yeah, I know that.
Okay. So here's what we're going to do for you, brother. Get Romans 8:16.
The book of Romans, chapter 8 and verse 16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit.
So the Spirit is going to the scriptures. So what we're going to do, we're going to give you scriptures to show how we know that we're the children of Israel. So we're going to see if these scriptures identify with your spirit. And if they identify with your spirit, then it's going to help you change your life, and you're going to come to your true nationality and come back to the commandments of God, right? So we're going to give you some scriptures to show how we identify who we are into the Bible, right? Give me Deuteronomy 28:15.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass.
First of all, before we read this, do you go to church? How long you been going to church?
Well, just about all my life.
All your life?
But lately I haven't been because I so long got out of the hospital.
Say it one more time.
I haven't, it's been a little while before I got out of the hospital.
Okay.
I'm trying to get things out now, but I can go back.
Okay.
Yeah, I go to Shallow Institution of Baptist Church.
Okay, I understand. So one thing I want you to keep in mind, what we get ready to read, we're getting ready to go into some real information, real historical facts, dealing with who you are and who our people are in the scriptures and how we're supposed to be living. And I want you to keep in mind, you're going to be up here for a short amount of time, but you've been going to church your whole life, correct? Afterwards, I want to see if they ever showed you this in the Bible, even though you go to church your whole life, right? All right, let's read this. Keep that in mind, that you went to church your whole life, and we're getting ready to show you something I guarantee they never showed you in the Bible.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So what, this is Moses speaking to the children of Israel. You're familiar with the story, correct? So right now he said the Lord is telling the children of Israel, what, if we do not hearken means to listen to the Lord our God, right?
To observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So what the Lord is telling us, if we do not listen, if we do not hearken to his word, his commandments, his statutes, that all these curses was going to come upon us, right? You understand? So what is the curses, my brother? Let me ask, do you know what a curse is? Is that a good or a bad thing? A bad thing, right? So the Lord is telling us, he's letting us know what the children of Israel, the people that you see here on the sign, that if you do not listen to what he is saying, curses is going to come upon you, right? So I want to read some of those curses to show you the importance of knowing that. You read verse 46, read.
Verse 46.
We in the same chapter.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign.
So what? The they is the curses that we read about above, right? So it says the they is the curses. This is the context, right?
Shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
So what? It's saying the curses are going to be upon the children of Israel for a sign and for a wonder. So what does a sign do?
Sign his signature.
What's that?
He showed you things just like y'all got those signs.
Yes. Yes, this is a perfect example. Because what's this sign here tell you? Who is this? Who is it though?
He's supposed to be the devil.
This is the devil?
No, that ain't the devil.
Who do you believe this is?
I really don't know.
You don't know? You ain't never seen this picture before?
All these false daughters of revolution.
You ain't never seen it?
I done seen the picture like that.
That's why y'all don't remember.
Who does the world say this is?
That's not who, I mean, by me looking at it, that's not who I think it is.
So who you think it
He
is?
look like my father, God up in heaven. That's what he looked like.
So he look like God.
And the other one down there too. The second one.
Come a little closer. I want to make sure we point at the same one. So you saying this look like the God in heaven?
Right. And that, I have never seen it. I read picture of him. I done seen it.
So, okay, I want to make sure we understand on the same page. So pretty much you saying Christ and the Lord, they are white men.
No, I can't say that. No.
What would you say?
I don't know what color he is. Really. He's mixed, just like my dad.
So he mixed.
Yeah, he mixed just like my dad.
Now,
I don't know.
Before I show you something, I want you to keep in mind that you've gone to church your whole life. And you mean to tell me they never told you that Christ's description was in the Bible?
No, I never heard that.
Why not,
Genealogy, you'll be able
Why
to
not,
tell
brother?
he's mixed.
Brother, you've been going to church your whole life. Why have they never told you that Christ's description was in the Bible? Let me give it to you. Let's read that.
The book of Revelations, chapter 1 and verse 14.
Read verse 1 first.
Verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ.
Revelation means to reveal. So it's getting ready to reveal something about Jesus Christ. And I'm making a point to show you that it's going to reveal his description. It's nothing you have to guess about, you have to wonder about. It tells you what he looks like. All right, hop down.
Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
Take your hat off for me. Take your hat off for me. Read this again.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
Now, what people on this earth have white woolly hair?
I don't know nobody got no white woolly.
Touch your hair, brother. You have white woolly hair. Your hair is white and woolly.
That's right.
When you touch it, that's the texture of wool. You have white hair because you have seasoned hair, brother.
Yeah, I understand that.
Right. Okay, so that's description 1. So, if it says Christ has white woolly hair, does he have white woolly hair? No, he got long white people hair, bro. It's not even the same, right? All right, let's keep reading, though. I'm going to further expand on the point.
His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow.
Read.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
So that's also going to show that Christ drank wine in moderation, also going into when he came back with his anger, because the whites of his eyes would be red. You understand?
And his feet.
Now it's getting ready to go into a description of his feet. If I was to see your feet, brother, is that the same color as the rest of your body? All right, so follow me, right?
And his feet like unto fine brass.
So it's saying Christ's feet is the color of fine brass. What color is brass? It's like a gold or a derivation of brown, right? So first of all, it's telling you that Christ had brown skin. Not only brown, but let's see how brown.
As if they burned in a furnace.
So not only he had brown skin, it says he burned in the furnace. If you burn anything in the furnace, what color does it turn? It turns dark. It turns black. So not only was Christ a brown man, he was a dark-skinned man.
Bring it up.
You understand? With white woolly hair. So this misconception that we don't know what Christ looks like, or he don't have a body, it's a lie. And I wanted to make that clear from the very beginning, because you said you're going to church your whole life. I'm sure they read the Bible in there. But the most important figure in the Bible, they don't even tell you what color he looked like. Does that make sense? It don't make sense. And then to further expound on the point, let's see what the Most High God looked. Let's see what his father looked like. How about that? Let's get John 14:8, then we're gonna get the one you got.
The book of John, chapter 14 and verse 8. Philip said unto him, Lord, show us the Father.
So what? This is Philip coming to Christ our Messiah. He's asking him the question. He said, can you show me the Father? I want to see what the Father looked like, the Most High God, right? Right?
And it sufficeth us.
And that'll suffice us. That'll make us feel better, right?
Jesus saith unto him, have I been so long time with you?
So Jesus had to check him. You're being simple. Have I not been with you? Said Philip, right? He had to correct him, right?
And yet hast thou not known me, Philip?
Like you don't know who I am?
He that hath seen me hath seen the Father.
He said, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father. What does that mean? That means I look like my Father. Right. Just like your son looks like you. Just like you look like your father. It's the same thing. Christ is saying, we look the same. Now we're going to get a description of what? His Father. You understand? All right, let's get it.
The book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit.
The Ancient of Days, that's going into the Most High God. That's going to God the Father, because he existed before days. Because when you read Genesis, he created everything, right? He created the time system, the days and the seasons. So he was before the days started or were created, right?
Whose garment was white as snow.
Whose garment? Let me ask you a question. What's a garment? That's your clothing, right? So not only is it describing the Most High God, it's saying that he has a garment. In order for you to be wearing clothes, what must you have?
Wardrobe.
If you're wearing a garment, that means you have to have a body. If you're wearing clothes, you have to have a body. How you doing, brother? Right now, we're just going into the description of Christ, and right now we're going into the what his Father was like, the Most High God.
I need to ask you, who is that man?
Who this? This is the damn image. This is the damn devil. You was right the first time when you said it. He's actually a real person. He's Caesar Borgia. He was the son of Pope Alexander VI. He was the first replica that they used to model the image of Christ when they came into the Renaissance time. So when they came through the whitewash or iconoclast, or images, or black images, give me Job 9:24. I want to show what I'm talking about. I like to describe things with the Bible, so I want to give you a verse to explain what I'm saying. Right? Check this out.
Job chapter 9 and verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
So the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. I called him the devil because the devil is the wicked and his children are wicked. And it's saying that the world is given into their hand. I can further expound if y'all deal with me, right?
He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
It covereth the faces of the judges thereof. The judges are what? The Most High God, Christ, the Israelites. These are the judges of the world. These are the judges of the people. Matter of fact, give me what you got. Give me what you got. I was thinking something else, I lost it. But during the time, are y'all familiar with the Dark Ages? The Dark Ages, right? So what do they tell you about the Dark Ages? Let's get that point first. What do you know about the Dark Ages? What you got, Elder? What do you know about the Dark Ages?
You go in the back of the Bible, you can see all
Levi is the Haitian.
Like Revelation?
Revelation, yeah, they call it Revelation. That's what you're
You know what's funny? You're not too off. You're not too off. But I don't think you understand what you're saying. I don't think you understand what you're saying, huh? This one here.
Yeah.
Caesar Borgia. So this is the model that they use to paint the new, what you would call, image of Christ. This is why when you pull out your phone, you go out to all your churches, this is the image you see. Because he was the son of Pope Alexander VI. He was the one that kind of introduced or got moving with the manifest destiny, where the Roman Catholic Church went through and conquered all of your dark nations. You understand? And it's actually going into this here. Watch this, right? Read this.
The book of First Maccabees.
Let's prove it, because I'm saying it. I want to prove it out of the Bible. So right now we're getting ready to show who's the world given to, the wicked, and them covering the images of the true images of the Bible, right?
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 3.
Go back to Job real quick, then get Malachi 1.
Job, chapter 9 and verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
Give me what you got. I seen that. Get that, yeah.
First Maccabees, chapter 3.
So we're going into them covering the faces of the judges thereof. Them painting over our images. Because come here, let me show y'all something. It's all like 277.
It's 272.
Okay, so boom, how about this, right? Who do y'all think this is? This here. That's the real Jesus. That was a better depiction of what his skin, because we read the depiction of what he looked like, right? They said he had white woolly hair like my brother here. They said he had dark skin, burnt in the furnace like you. Christ was a dark-skinned brother. So before what the rulership of the white man, or what you would call the Renaissance time, this is an ancient depiction where because before they started painting him like this, he was always portrayed as a black man.
And you know that for sure.
Yes, sir.
He said
well, how do you know that's Jesus?
This is a depiction. So we're not saying he exactly looks like this. But I tell you one thing, even in the depiction, you ain't switching somebody from black to white.
That's right.
When the police come looking for somebody, they get a depiction or a sketch of somebody, it's a rough estimate of what they look like. But if I tell you that he was a white man, he was a black man, that's not a rough estimate, that's a completely different person.
You're right. Right.
So if somebody tells you what the hair texture, the skin color, features that you could use to identify them, that's what you utilize, you understand? All right, now I want to prove the fact that I want to continue.
And laid open the book of the law.
This is the book of the law. You remember I said how we were the judges. So the book is the book of laws. And the judges are those who institute and pass judgments on those laws, which are the children of Israel, you understand?
Wherein the heathen,
that's going into the other nations, primarily the white man,
had sought to paint the likeness of their images.
So what? They sought to paint the likeness of their image. That means they wanted to take those black images that you would see during the Dark Ages and repaint them white. And this is when we're getting into the time of the Renaissance time. The Renaissance is the rebirth. That's what it means. It's going into the white people coming back into power and conquering the dark nations, primarily starting off over there in Europe. I want to show you that out the Bible. I want to give you historical facts with the scriptures. Are you familiar with that? I know you just walked up. I'm giving you a lot. Are you following me before I continue? All right, bet. I don't want to go and you look like, what's this dude talking about? I don't know. All right, all praise. Let's get Malachi 1. Malachi 1:1. Because remember I said that the world was given into the hand of the wicked. And it said that they will cover the faces of the judges thereof. And I gave you historical accounts backing those things up. So now I'm going to give you a historical count out of the Bible. All right?
Malachi, chapter 1 and verse 1. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel.
To Israel. So this is for the Israelites. The whole Bible is for the Israelites.
By Malachi.
Malachi wrote this.
I have loved you.
So what? The Lord has loved you. He loved the children of Israel. If y'all haven't heard that before, you're hearing it today. Read that again.
I have loved you, saith the Lord. Read. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us?
Why would we ask that question? Before I continue, I want to see where y'all minds at. So the Lord said he loved us, but our people, they question if God actually has love for us. Why do we question that? Because of what we go through, right? Because of this. Because a lot of times we come out here and we ask our people, why would the Lord allow this to happen to our people? Do you know why? What about you, Elder? It's a good question, right? A good question that a lot of our people, they don't ask and they don't wonder. What about you, Elder?
Everybody said no trust.
Why did our people go into slavery?
Liberia. Come on, I speak blood into it. You know who John Taylor Williams is? What about them bulls or them? But the gold going down the street. I'm not even gonna front to you.
They claim that the people, they claim they were the super beings of the world and all of that. They claim that they take it over so they can take up. Well, most of education, like education,
most of y'all became
the white had more education than the black had, all that. Just messed things up when they did that cause black wanted to be a president, white wanted to be a president. Either one of them, you got to be smart, you got to be, got a good job, maybe got the money or something.
You're touching on something. Let me show you something though, right, Elder? I want to show you something. Because some of the things you say have some validity behind it. But I want to show you that you off according to the scriptures in certain areas, right? So I'm going to come back to the point. First, I want to get Deuteronomy 29 and 24, and then I want to go to Deuteronomy 28 and 15. Because I want to show y'all something, right? I want to show why this happened to us. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29 and verse 24. Even all nations shall say, wherefore hath the Lord done thus unto this land?
So everybody's going to ask, why did this happen to the children of Israel? Why did they get conquered? Why were they sold on ships? Why were their sons and daughters stolen, killed, murdered, thrown off of ships, stacked on the bottom of the ship where they were pissing shit everywhere? When you would die, they would toss your body off the side of the ship. The sharks changed their migrational pattern to follow the ships that came from the west coast of Africa. Have y'all ever heard that before? Because they knew it was so many bodies in the water that they was going to eat. This didn't happen to nobody else, you understand? I'm setting the premise before we even get rocking with it, but this didn't happen to nobody else, all right? Keep reading.
What meaneth the heat of this great anger?
It says, what meaneth the heat of this great anger? Why is the Lord so angry at this people, right? Why is he so mad?
Then men shall say, because they have forsaken the covenant of the Lord God of their fathers.
Because we broke the covenant of the Lord God our fathers.
That's right.
That is why the Lord is angry with us.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.